Hi, hopefully you've watched a pretty interesting video of the case of Todd and Amy. One of the attorneys who was actually a part of this lawsuit has gone around the country and he's given over 2,000 presentations to hundreds of thousands of students. And he has asked them as the audience, will you please be the jury? You make a decision. Is Todd, should he be guilty of sexual assault? Or is he not guilty because Amy never said no, right? She initiated the sex act itself. In his presentations, he said he's never gotten a unanimous decision, that people are very, very opinionated about who's to blame in this case. In the actual case, the jury, 12 people, 5 women, 7 men, found Todd guilty, second-degree sexual assault. And the rationale did not have to do with how much he may have intentionally gotten her drunk. That was not part of the decision. It didn't have to do with whether or not Amy was a previous drinker, or whether or not she had said yes. The only decision was she capable of giving consent to sex? It is kind of interesting that people are curious about Amy and her previous behavior. Would it matter that she was more sexually active or not? In the actual case, she was a virgin, and sometimes that makes a difference for people, but again, it really comes down to, was she capable of making consent or not? So it is kind of interesting to me that people are obsessed with her past. People also wonder, well, Todd said, I didn't have anything, no knowledge that she was intoxicated, but he was a bartender. He also claimed not to know that grain alcohol was that powerful, that could make somebody incapacitated really quickly. Amy was estimated to have about 20 drinks, the equivalent of 20 drinks. Jello shots are extremely powerful, so 5 Jello shots plus 5 beers, about 20 drinks, or a blood alcohol content of 0.34. Very difficult for anybody to actually stay conscious with that much alcohol in their body. This is actually a pretty clear case in one sense, that Todd's own admission helped make this very clear. In other words, most of the time it's he said, she said, and investigators have to go ask other witnesses or try to find out the blood alcohol content of both people and make some assessment, because it really comes down to just who do you believe. In this case, Todd's own testimony basically made it more clear. Having said that, some people worry, well, what if the woman is making a false claim? What if she's making it up? And most of the comprehensive studies show that about 7% of the time, women are making a false accusation. That's actually the same percentage of people who make a false accusation that somebody stole something from them when they never did, or that somebody physically assaulted them. Both men and women report about 7% of the time a false positive. They make up a fake report. And I'm not saying that's not important. We absolutely should worry about false reports, but I think it's interesting that people put so much energy into worrying about a false report when there's also false negatives. In other words, lots and lots of times where women are sexually assaulted and they never bring it forward. So out of 100 cases of sexual assault, 7 might be false reporting, but 93 are actual cases, and there's probably hundreds more of actual cases of people getting sexual assaults that are never brought forward. So I'm personally more concerned about false negatives than I am about false positives. So that's just something to consider.